Coming up on City Beat, at this soccer training event where kids got to learn from the pros, Las Vegas Lights announced a new ritual they'll be performing after every home game, win or lose. It involves autographs and game jerseys. We'll tell you what fans can expect post-game. Plus, this was a shower that new and expecting moms wanted to get caught up in. The second annual baby shower at Stupak Community Center offered cribs, clothing, and toys to moms in need of a little assistance. And comfort food was on the menu at Las Vegas Fire and Rescue Station 1 for this segment of Code 3 Cooking with Fire. And this meal is not only delicious, it comes with a good cause. Hi, everybody, and welcome to City Beat. I'm your host, Nancy Byrne, and we are coming to you from Gary Dexter Park in Ward 1. This 53-year-old park recently underwent major renovations, and a little bit later on, we're going to show you around at some of the new features. But first, we want to get you caught up on that special election in Ward 5, where residents came out to fill a vacant council seat. Here are the results. There were 11 people vying for the seat. These were the top 3 vote getters, with Cedric Creer the unofficial winner until votes are canvassed April 4th. The votes will be canvassed and the winner will be sworn in at the April 18th City Council meeting. Well, the Las Vegas Lights FC had their first home game March 24th at Cashman Field. It was against Reno and it was tied 1-1. But from this point forward, no matter how a game turns out, win or lose, it's the fans who are going to end up the winners. You see, they announced at Kellogg's Air recently that they're going to begin a new tradition, a tradition that makes the fans center stage no matter whether they win or lose.
We're going to break you guys up into certain groups and sections. You guys will be able to play with the players. How does that sound? All right.
Here at Kellogg's Air Park on this drizzly, dreary afternoon, nothing could dampen the spirits of the youth soccer players who turned out for some one-on-one soccer tips from the pros. The Las Vegas Lights FC team is already so entrenched in our community. This is just one more way they're giving back, working with the City of Las Vegas Parks and Rec Department, making the players available for these mini training camps for our soccer kids.
We can work on some passing and maybe some shooting so we can score goals. Sound good?
The kids had a ball learning soccer from the pros, and the day was filled with fun for everyone here. But the training wasn't the only reason for this gathering. The coaches, players, and owner Brett Lashbrook pulled the crowd together after the practice to announce some big news. Drum roll, please.
After every Lights FC home game at Cashman Field, win or lose, all of our players will stay on the field and give autographs to the fans. And 2, all the players will take the game-worn jersey off their back and give it to a fan. We will become the first professional sports team after every home game to give our official jersey to the fans. Partnering, there we go, let's hear it for that, yes.
Literally giving the fans the shirts off their back is just one more way this team is giving back to this community. And they started the tradition with these kids here at this practice.
It looks good, Brandon. I'm proud of you.
The kids and the parents were bowled over by the ongoing gestures of kindness and giving this team has been showing our city. This dad says it often takes time to win over his daughter Evie, but the sincerity of these guys came across to her quickly.
And she's normally nervous around a lot of people, but the players made her feel so welcome. And before long, she just was attached to the hip of the players and didn't want to let go. And she's having a great time.
I think it's awesome. It's good for them to see, older adults, actually professionals, playing and taking the time to come out and be with the children.
And the players are loving the fans right back.
I love inspiring the next generation of footballers, and it starts at the very beginning, showing them that we're people too. We're soccer players, but we're not just professionals sticking in our house. We like to come out, hang out with the kids, teach them a little bit, pass with them, play with them, and hopefully inspire them to keep working and practicing and growing too.
Zach Drake says the entire team has felt welcome to this city from the the start.
I was blown away at the amount of support the team has had, even from the beginning, not even having a jersey yet. We had so much support coming out in our spring season, and now our first home game, we're looking forward to a sellout, hopefully.
The season may be just starting, and this team may be brand new to our city, but Lashbrook believes the relationship being formed between the Las Vegas Lights and Las Vegas is like family. And if you're not convinced, he says just go to one game at Cashman Field. You'll be hooked. Brett's enthusiasm is quite contagious. If you would like information about ticket availability and their schedule, go to lightsfc.com. Well, as we mentioned, we are at Gary Dexter Park. You know, the city of Las Vegas has about 80 parks offering great amenities, from splash pads to playgrounds, dog runs, and much more. But in some of the more mature areas, like this one, it's hard to keep those parks up to date. Well, on March 24th, Councilwoman Lois Tarkanian reopened this park, showing off major renovations and offered some words of wisdom to the area neighbors. Gary Dexter Park has been closed for renovations for quite some time, so when it officially reopened on March 24th, it was a real celebration. This renovation project was very important to Councilwoman Lois Tarkanian because she knows how important this park is to nearby neighbors.
It's a much used park, and it had fallen into some disarray. And we used some of our roof tax money and some of the convention center money and some of the general fund money from the city to renovate it. And we have about $2.2 million.
Councilwoman Tarkanian said she asked for input from the neighbors to find out exactly what they wanted and then worked hard with the city's Public Works Department to get it done.
Except for the soccer fields over there, it's pretty much a complete brand new park. And what we tried to do was incorporate elements into this one that really are a lot different and better than we had in previous parks. So as you look at it, the colors, the textures, the splash pads, it should be a fun neighborhood park for everybody.
By keeping and updating what was already here and adding new features such as the splash pad and larger dog runs, the city was able to get everything done the neighbors so wanted.
We think it's beautiful. We're just really grateful and thankful that there's a nice, beautiful park that we can bring him to now.
You know, I went around and talked with the residents in the community, and they say they just love it.
So far, he's enjoying the slides. And he likes the jump house that they brought out today, but I think the water park is what he's most excited about.
It's not just great for kids. There's a lot for adults, too, like the added space to the dog runs, walking trails complete with exercise stations, and brighter lighting and new landscaping so that it has a safer, more manicured look and feel. So the rededication party was truly a time to celebrate this 53-year-old park. But before unveiling the new plaque, the councilwoman wanted to remind people this is their park, and if they want it to look this clean and new for years to come, it's up to them to keep an eye on it.
Please, if you see anyone who damages, try and find out who it is. Try and discourage them. Tell your neighbors and everybody, we haven't got a lot of money to redo this again. So please remember, this is like your own home, part of your extended home, and you take care of that.
And with those words of wisdom, it was time to officially unveil the plaque commemorating this day.
2, 1.
A rededication to a park neighbors are dedicated to keeping fresh and clean.
Yay for the park!
You know, the city of Las Vegas has a great crew that keeps our parks clean and safe, but they can't be everywhere all the time, and that is why the councilwoman wants the neighbors to let the city know if something needs to be cleaned up or repaired. Gary Dexter Park is located at 800 Upland, right near Trent Avenue. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to take you to a baby shower like no other baby shower you have ever attended. Stay with us. Congratulations to our City of Las Vegas Employee of the Month, Leanne Burton. Leanne is a Buyer 1 in our Purchasing and Contracts division. A core function of that division is to initiate and manage purchase orders, helping city departments plan and control their program budgets. Leanne has worked with great focus to review, analyze, and close aged purchase order line items and return needed funds back to the city departments. Through her meticulous judgment call, she has determined which ones can be closed so that the money can be returned to the city. As an example of the work she does, in the last 3 months, Leanne has closed 787 orders and has returned more than $750,000 back to the city. Leanne deserves recognition because she has made a difference to further the city's strategic priority of responsible fiscal stewardship and ensuring that our taxpayers are getting the best bang for their buck. For her hard work making sure our money works hard for all of us, we say congratulations to Leanne Byrne, City of Las Vegas Employee of the Month. Welcome back to City Beat from Gary Dexter Park in Ward 1 here in the city of Las Vegas. When you hear the phrase baby shower, this is probably what comes to mind. A few ladies sitting around drinking tea, eating crustless cucumber sandwiches, and opening a few gifts. Wipe all that away. We're going to take you to a real baby shower. This one was held at the Stupak Community Center for some moms in need of a little bit of help. More than 100 mothers or expectant mothers were able to come into Stupak and pick exactly what they need for their families. It's one day before Stupak Community Center's baby shower, and there was a lot to do to get this gymnasium ready. Starting with volunteers from AmeriCorps' National Civilian Community Corps, folding tiny clothes and organizing sizes so that this gym would in one day look like this. At 11 a.m. on the nose, the doors were opened and the guests filed in. Expectant moms and parents with a child under the age of 4 were all eligible to stop in the community center and get whatever they needed to care for their families.
We have a lot of single moms and grandparents that have infants or that are pregnant that need a little bit of assistance. So we've reached out to a lot of our volunteers that have been out here over the years, and they've brought in tons of clothes. We have baby clothes, diapers, we have cribs that we are raffling off.
Ernestina Martinez was here with her 5-year-old daughter to pick up some items she'll be needing in about 6 months when she and her family welcome a new baby into their home.
It's actually a very unbelievable thing for this community, I believe, and it does help tremendously. I'm forever grateful for this program.
Aside from all the clothing, toys, and accessories, there were baby shower games where raffle tickets could be won for a chance to win big prizes, such as a crib with all the trimmings. There were also vendors on site to help those in attendance learn about resources in our community that can help with anything from medical and nutrition advice to safe sleeping.
And you can have a bedtime book about safe sleep, just as a reminder. Oh, that's awesome.
Kim Amato is the Southwest Community Coordinator for Cribs for Kids, and she was here to let moms and dads know about a prevalent but preventable danger for our babies.
We're promoting safe sleep practices. In our city, we lose approximately 2 babies every month to sleep accidents, and that means accidental rollover or suffocation because they're sleeping in the family's bed, either with siblings or with mom or dad, or unsafely on a couch, face down in cushions, and it happens far too much, and it's entirely preventable.
It's hard to believe this event is only in its 2nd year. Sherry tells us Stupak Outreach Coordinator Deirdre Thomas started this last year when she learned there were some moms in need and gathered gifts from friends and relatives to help a few.
Well, actually, Dee found that there were several moms that were here in the neighborhood that were pregnant, that were looking for assistance of any kind, diapers, baby formula, cribs, things like that is pretty expensive sometimes. So she was able to reach out to a lot of friends, and they donated stuff.
And what a difference a year makes.
We'll probably get about 100 pregnant moms here today, which will be good because we love babies.
This year, local charities and businesses such as 3 Square and MGM got involved, and as word got out, city employees and local residents showered the shower with gifts of clothing, blankets, and other necessities. Sherry says she's not surprised. Anytime the Stupak staff reaches out and asks for help from our community, the response is overwhelming.
The kindness and the empathy and just the caring people is just overwhelming.
A big thanks to Sherry Alexandra, Deirdre Thomas, and all of the volunteers from Stupak Center and beyond who stepped up and made this shower possible. It's hard to believe what next year's shower might be like. Well, it's time now for our series Code 3 Cooking with Fire. This is where we take you to various fire stations from Las Vegas Fire and Rescue and give you an insider's look at some great cooking and recipes. Now, for this segment, we take you to Station 1, where a group of ladies won an auction benefiting the Southern Nevada Firefighters Byrne Foundation. They were treated to a tour of one of the busiest stations in the country, as well as some comfort food.
What recipe am I on right now?
Go ahead, dispatcher.
Hello, my name is Kyle Devasino. I'm a firefighter here with the City of Las Vegas Fire and Rescue. And today we're preparing dinner for a few guests. We're doing a meatloaf, mashed potatoes, a great Greek salad, and a little broccoli on the side, and some dessert for after. This is a family dinner. This is what we do every night when we're on shift. We're a family here, and we love to come together in the kitchen, prepare our meals, and enjoy them together. And this is when we have our family time. Tonight is our bachelor auction dinner. The proceeds go to the Byrne Foundation, the Southern Nevada Byrne Foundation. I'm a little new here, so it's been different for me, adjusting, but I've been having a great time. I'm learning a lot of new things, both on the fire ground and in the kitchen. So I feel like I'm in a good spot right now. We're doing a paleo meatloaf. We're doing garlic mashed potatoes. We're doing steamed vegetables. And we're gonna have a nice salad prep for everybody, a Greek salad. Some of the guys are a lot better cooks than me, and those skills show through when they get on the table. But I'll figure it out. I'll get there. I know, that's what I was thinking. And that's another challenge when cooking. We're still working, so guys will be in the middle of doing something and they'll have to run out. And there he goes, but he'll be back. We got about 20 pounds of ground meat here for the 26 people that are coming in for dinner. If that gives you a little bit of an insight to just how much food we prepare here at Station 1 every day, 3 times a day. Spinach, garlic, and spices.
Is that all the spices?
Yeah, we just need a little bit of garlic.
A little bit? No, not a little bit.
A lot of garlic.
2 garlic cloves, so 12 cloves.
Most recipes we cook from, we have to multiply everything by at least 6, 7, 8, who knows, maybe even 10. All right, 3 cups of almond flour. It took me a minute. The recipe calls for a half cup, so that would be just 2, yeah. 18 eggs.
Traffic accident. Level.
You ready? Just a sauce for the meatloaf. We ran out of tomato sauce, so we're just using ketchup. Trying to make it taste good anyway.
Looks like it'll work out. Yeah, we'll see. You gotta be gentle. Even. That's what it's like. It's looking good. At this point, I've transitioned into a supervisory role, and I'm liking that. And I guess they are too, huh? Yeah, let's have some fun. All right. Okay, we'll just get this covered up, let it sit for a few minutes. Thank you for saying that. It looked like a success, but you can't say that before everyone started eating, so that's good.
The money from that auction that those women bid on goes to the Southern Nevada Firefighters Byrne Foundation. It's a nonprofit of active firefighters who help victims of fires and other catastrophes. Thank you, Eric Sorensen, for that story. Time for another break, and when we come back, it may not be summer yet, but the city is helping you gear up with some free celebrations. Stay with us.
I rescued Toast from a shelter in 2011. I love Toast because she's a lazy diva. Toast makes me laugh. When I walked into the shelter, I knew she was special.
Our family is no less than any other family.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
Welcome back to City Beat from Dexter Park. Well, it may not be summer yet, but the city of Las Vegas is helping area families gear up for a safe summer by offering free celebrations, 6 of them as a matter of fact, between April 5th and May 7th. Families are invited to come out and enjoy music, games, some food, and much, much more. Get out a pen and paper. There may be a celebration near you. The Safe Summer Fairs are held at some of the City of Las Vegas Reinvent schools, and they are all free to the public. Now, many people are wondering, what exactly is a Reinvent school? Well, it's the City of Las Vegas version of a national model called community schools, where the philosophy is it takes a village. In other words, the kids are not just cared for in the classroom, they're cared for outside the classroom as well. Here's a look at some of the City of Las Vegas Reinvent schools. Jeremy Mucklow used to attend J.T. McWilliams Elementary School, but he says things sure have changed around here since he and his siblings called this their school.
I think the change is that it's more positive for the kids. They do more activities after school, and I think it's good for the parents too.
He sees the changes firsthand because his 6-year-old son Jaden is carrying on the McWilliams Elementary School family tradition. Jeremy says this has always been a good school, but now that it's part of the Reinvent school concept, it's a great school and a great hub for the entire community.
You know, it's a positive school, it's a positive program, so I like it a lot, and I think a lot of the other parents do too.
So what is a Reinvent school? Well, it's modeled after community schools, a concept being tried in cities across the nation and being met with great success. It not only provides needs in the classroom, but resources to build stronger families and communities. The main partners are the City of Las Vegas and the Clark County School District.
We developed a partnership around that concept that they handle education, we handle the community. It sort of picks up on that old saying, it takes a village. And so our role is to build that village.
Clark County Superintendent Pat Skorkowski says it became clear to him the schools and the city needed to work together on Reinvent schools when he dug deep into the details of our low scores.
When you go into those numbers and you really look at the 13 factors that come up with the ranking in Kids Count, 6 of those factors are education related and 7 of them are community related. And I knew that we were working to solve the education related factors. But the most important thing was to bring the community together to solve those 7 factors that we can't control, most of those that deal with the home. And so what better partner than to bring in the City of Las Vegas to really work on some of our most challenged schools.
I sat down with 2 of the city employees who were instrumental in researching community schools and modeling our own Reinvent schools after the successful concept. They've seen firsthand how troubles at home or in a neighborhood manifest into troubles in the class.
I mean, we certainly believe that the work of the community school is to educate people that, you know, what happens in schools is a byproduct of what's happening in the home. And if kids are struggling with food insecurity or maybe violence in the home or other things that come along with poverty, that it's going to manifest itself in the classroom as well.
This is where other partners come in, like the national nonprofit Communities in Schools. They provide whatever roads and referrals to resources the students and their families need, from healthcare to counseling to food. The schools are carefully analyzed because every school has needs, but not every school's needs are the same.
We have a lot of partners in the school, but sometimes they're not necessarily a needed partner within that school community. So there's a little bit of time that's wasted working with something that really doesn't fit within the school. So everybody coming together and talking about what are their needs and how do we address those needs and how do we have the right partners at the table.
We thought we'd ask those on the front line how the Reinvent School concept is working for them. J.T. McWilliams and Hollingsworth Elementary Schools were chosen as pilot schools last year.
I've seen our community take ownership of this school. And maybe that was there before, but I'm seeing it with fresh eyes. And so, for example, if there's something happening here on the weekend and families don't think it should be happening, they'll call for support. They'll text our Communities in Schools liaison. They might text me if they have my contact information. They might call school police. But the biggest piece is take ownership for their school. They feel like this is their school and they want to do something about it, and they feel like we have their backs.
So really looking at the needs of the family, looking at the needs of the child. Maybe it's healthcare. Maybe they have a cavity that is really their main focus all day long. Well, obviously that's going to impact their ability to academically succeed. So really a community school is one that looks at the child and a problem and tries to figure out, well, what is the source of the problem and how can we fix that and then get that child back on track.
You need only walk around these two elementary schools to see the pride that's growing. McWilliams Community Garden helps feed the families and teaches children about responsibility and taking ownership of a project. Murals at both schools are created and painted by students, parents, and local artists. Principal Womack says when the concept was brought to her, she knew this was not going to be just another quick fix or program du jour.
I wasn't skeptical at all. I actually felt like I hit the jackpot.
This is not city government trying to get into the education business or educators telling city government how to do its business. It's city government and education working hand in hand, living up to our city's core purpose, building community to make life better. The city started off with 4 Reinvent Schools. We now have 9. Well, that does it for another edition of City Beat from Gary Dexter Park, located at Upland and Trent Avenue. Come check it out and see all of the new features thanks to the renovations. As we go to close, we're going to take you to the annual Bluegrass Festival, this year held at Centennial Hills Park.